2 p.m. Tuesday, April 16th. Will the City Secretary please call the roll?
Mitchell,
Here.
Rizzo,
Present.
Heiser,
Here.
Zuniga,
Present.
Harris,
Here.
Parsley,
Here.
Tobias,
Present.
Inglesby,
Here.
Cohen.
Here.
Oh, I keep just sitting here. All right, so all members present, we have a quorum. Next up, citizen comments. Is there anyone who wishes to speak? Seeing none, citizen comments is closed. Next up, agenda item 1, consider approval of an interlocal agreement with Hays County for tax increment reinvestment zone number 6.
Good afternoon, Chair and board members. My name is Stephanie Leiby with Norton Rose Fulbright. I'm bond counsel for the city. So TIRZ number 6 is the downtown TIRZ. Within the downtown master plan, multiple infrastructure projects were identified which would help facilitate development downtown and immediately east of I-35 along FM 150. TIRZ 6 was created by the city on December 19th, 2023, in order to generate revenues which can be dedicated for these projects. Projects would include roads, stormwater, parking, including parking garages for downtown, sidewalks and trails, some linear park improvements, a proposed new administrative facility, and then also land for floodplain management and the potential for some 380 agreements. So tonight's meeting is the initial meeting of TIRZ Board 6. We'll kind of walk through both an interlocal agreement that'll be executed between the city and Hays County, and then also adoption of the final plan for this TIRZ. This slide simply shows boundaries of the TIRZ. This was presented both to city and county. The boundaries of the TIRZ comprise 229 acres and consist of 373 separate tax ID parcels. On February 20th, 2024, the City Council amended the preliminary project and finance plan for TIRZ 6, which incorporated comments that were provided by the Commissioners Court of Hays County. Hays County has seen that amended plan, and Hays County has also previously authorized the execution of the interlocal agreement. So for tonight's board meeting, we have election of initial officers, adoption of a seal, and then council approval of final project and financing plan and the TIRZ agreement. So happy to answer any questions that you all may have. The interlocal agreement itself is simply the funding mechanism through which the county provides TIRZ revenues to the city on an annual basis. Yes?
Sorry, it might just be a question randomly, but in this TIRZ, since it's downtown and it does affect a lot of our older parts of the city, is it possible to add into it for beautification and preservation of historic buildings and things of that nature? Is that TIRZ fundable just to preserve anything historic in this downtown area and beautification?
So under state law for private property buildings, there are certain facade improvements that can be funded through TIRZ revenues, but that would kind of be the extent of beautification projects as it relates to privately owned buildings. But those projects are not currently in our TIRZ plan.
So any historical buildings or land we couldn't fund out of the TIRZ?
You could come back with an amended project and finance plan to include those projects as future revenues became available.
It's just something to keep in mind in this downtown TIRZ because of the history of Kyle is in this area.
Sure. No, I understand. And I mean, as you work through, you know, the TIRZ financing or the steps to create the TIRZ, right? We've created the TIRZ and we've had the preliminary plan, kind of solicited feedback associated with that plan, and are bringing back the final plan to both the TIRZ board and city council tonight. And so the projects that we have in the plan for now are the initial projects that have been identified for future TIRZ revenues. But certainly, as the TIRZ itself gets off the ground and evolves, we can update that plan to incorporate more projects.
Thank you.
Just to be clear, and any changes, amendments to the TIRZ plan or scope of work has to be brought back to the county, right?
Changes to TIRZ plans under the ILA have to be brought back to the county. And as we have here, even within this plan itself, certain of these projects are county funded, certain of the projects are not TIRZ funded under the current interlocal agreement. For example, the city administrative facility, the county's decided at this time that initially county funds would not be eligible to pay any costs associated with that administrative facility. As development occurs and that facility kind of gathers a greater vision, the county is opening to future discussions or further negotiations related to the availability of county funds to be dedicated to that project in exchange for county office space within the building. But that's kind of all things that would come at some point in the future. But under terms of the initial ILA, county revenues would not be available for that project.
I guess what we got to understand also, Councilman Zuniga, that even though it's considered, we're downtown, in a lot of these buildings are old buildings, they are private property. And I look at it as you can't really go and force these people to say this is going to be a historical marker, because there's got to be some significance behind that actual property itself. So as much as I know a lot of people are wanting us to preserve as much as we can, some of these things are maybe out of our scope.
All right. Well, I'm
Yeah.
just looking at like the train depot, the
Oh, yeah,
the
those, of
Porter-
course,
the
they've
Porter Inn,
already got the
and then there's
markings
an
there.
old jail. I think there's an old jail or building up there.
Yeah.
The
But-
old, the original.
Yeah, but we have there is a marking there, just like the tree on Sledge Street. Those things are done on that sense. We just,
I just think it's also worth noting that that the TIRZ 6 funding mechanism is not the only dollars that we have for downtown projects. So it's just a way of bringing dollars together and setting some projects in motion. But with like what you're talking about, I think we just did a downtown revitalization grant program, 75,000. That's not coming out of TIRZ 6. We still have the ability to invest in our downtown, is I guess my point.
And I would just say, if there's a particular project that comes up, we could take it to this board or through other funding, as the mayor mentioned, and then see how we'd want to accomplish that. But right now, this is the plan that we have that's been discussed.
Yeah, sure.
Motion to approve the ILA?
Second.
Second.
Oh, I keep forgetting I'm the chair. All right, motion by the mayor, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries 9-0. All right, next up, agenda item number 2, adopt an official seal for tax increment reinvestment zone number 6.
And this is purely just an administrative matter.
All right, does anybody have any comments they want to make on the seal? Motion to approve. All right, motion by mayor, seconded by Commissioner Cohen. Is there discussion on the motion? Was it you, Commissioner? I just, it's too many. It's hard.
Raise your
Well,
hand.
I'm not in the middle. I'm all off.
45-minute meeting.
All right, okay. Any discussion on the motion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. All right, motion carries 9-0. Next up, agenda item 3, consider nominations to elect officers of the Board of Directors of TIRZ number 6. Ms. Labby? Your name's on it. We have to,
Okay, well, state statute specifies that the mayor is the chair for the initial term. And so any other board positions that you all would like to elect, you could elect at this
all right,
time.
does anybody want to consider themselves or nominate someone for vice chair? Commissioner Inglesby?
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think I'd like to get one of the commissioners, just to give the county a seated table.
Cohen? Say yes.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Motion to make the mayor the chair and Commissioner Cohen vice chair.
Motion.
That was a motion. All right, motion by mayor, second by Mayor Pro Tem, that we appoint the mayor as chair and the Commissioner Cohen as the vice chair for TIRZ number 6. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries 9-0. Next up, agenda item 4, consider approval of a resolution of the Board of Directors for TIRZ 6, adopting the final project and financing plan. Ms. Labby.
Sure. So again, this agenda item is closely related to the first agenda item, approving the ILA. So we've come a number of times, both the City Council and Commissioners Court, to work through the preliminary project and finance plan. We've taken input, produced the final plan, which again provides a revenue projection for TIRZ revenues within the zone itself, and also project lists. Any of the projects identified in that project list are eligible to TIRZ funding, as again subject to the conditions of the ILA. And the ILA will specify those projects that the county is currently not participating in. The action to be taken by the board right now is just a recommendation or approval of the plan, and a recommending that council adopts that plan as the final plan for the TIRZ. And so this plan, this final project and finance plan, is both on the TIRZ board agenda for today, and it'll also be on City Council agenda for this evening.
All right, thank you, Ms. Labby. Does anybody have any questions or comments with regards to the TIRZ plan? I know we've just discussed it. Motions?
Motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
All right, motion by Commissioner Inglesby, second by Mayor Pro Tem, that we approve the preliminary ILA. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries 9-0. Motion to adjourn. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.